Dreams are a comment on the events of the day with a lot of advice and guidance thrown in. Yeah, I heard you say that before, Michael, but I'm not sure I see it though. Well, you're in luck. Today's show includes dreams that give advice on career and are a perfect demonstration of this principle. Now, if you're thinking career is boring, let me ask you this. What could Viagra possibly mean in a career dream? Now you're interested. Stay tuned to find out. Hello and welcome to the Dream Interpretation Podcast, the show about life transformation through dream interpretation. I'm Michael Sheridan. This is another half hour of us eavesdropping on the communication between the spirit world and heroes on their journey. That's what a dreamer is, a hero on a journey. And some dreamers are kind enough to send me their special communique so I can share it with the world. Well, at least 3 people. There's me and there's the producer here, Eric. He has to listen. And then there's Sandy, my wife. So, although I'm not sure that she always listens. So that's back to 2. Okay, got it. Ollie sent a dream last week. Ollie listens all the way from London, England. And that's in the world. I checked it. So, woohoo! I said the world. And because I used Ollie's dream, he got a free call with me. And that's something you can do. So send me your dreams. How? You go to dream-analysis.com, click on radio show, and you'll be able to submit your dreams to me, and I'll be able to use them on the show, and you'll be able to improve your life in enormous ways. And then you'll be thanking me forever. And look, we need to stop. But because Ollie sent me his dream in, and because he got a free call, he was able to say what he thought of the interpretation, and that's the whole point of it. And he had extra questions. So in Ollie's dream the week before, I had told him, you're a hands-on healer, you need to be using it. And then I also said, and I know I've told you that years ago, so are you using it? So he started using it on his wife. He looked up a video on YouTube and he was copying what this guy said to do, but then he started having really weird dreams and he didn't like those dreams. So he stopped doing it. And in the call with me, I explained to him exactly how to do it. Now, there are many types of healing modalities out there, and I'm talking about one all the time. I'm not knocking the other ones, but when I talk about hands-on healing or spiritual healing, it's the same thing. And that's where you have trained with an angel before coming here, and you've done that training for years. So you know how to use this gift. This angel is aligned with your body. It's not just any angel, it's the same angel all the time that you use. So if you're using a modality and you're hands-on healer, but in that modality you call in healers and you call in this and that, you're not doing it right, because you don't need to do that if it's already your gift. If it isn't your gift and you train in how to do it, of course, why would you do that? But if you do, then you will be calling in healers because you don't have one pre-assigned. You don't need to call in your healer when you're a healer. They're there, they're waiting for the opportunities, and there's very little you have to do in order to get them to step into your body and use the energy that you're channeling in order to help the people that you're working with. So that's what we got to do. We didn't really talk a lot about dreams. I showed Ollie how to do the hands-on healing, and that was great. He was delighted. But again, this is what you could do. This is the value you get from sending a dream to the show at dream-analysis.com. And I never get enough dreams, so please do it. Please send me dreams. You get on a call with me and we can talk about whatever the issue is that the analysis I did on the show brought up or was about or whatever. And it's a lot of fun. And I record them and you get the recording. It's your own personal show. So let's start. Let's have a look at some of these career dreams. So this one is from Sadie. She says, I am walking past a bus stop of sorts where a big black limousine is picking up a passenger. I'm helping a dying person. I'm on the phone with a doctor who also brings in a second doctor. 2 different specialists, she says in brackets, on the phone. They're in other states, but walking me through what's needed for this dying person. They want me to go get 2 drugs for the person. Now I'm walking again past the limo bus stop, which is back picking up another passenger. As I walk towards the hospital/airport, how can it be both, but it is in the dream, I am taken aback by the landscape, which is burnt trees. Even though I knew there had been a forest fire here, it still takes my breath away to see it. There is some vague conspiracy theory plot line happening in the background. As I'm walking, I'm talking to the doctors, who I can hear, and they hear me, even though my phone is in my left pocket. They are telling me that what I'm doing is very important, that I'm doing a great job. I have a sense like I'm an MVP. I appreciate their praise, though I feel a bit shy or humble or deflecting about it. I go to the hospital airport and I'm looking in drawers for the 2 medications. Now, I'm going to make a botch of this, but they are Sildenafil and Tetragrammatride. I wake up as I'm looking for the drugs in IV bags. Okay, so this is the dream with the Viagra, because sildenafil is the main ingredient in Viagra. And you're going to have to wait a little bit to find out what it means, but you will. And what could the other one possibly mean? Now, astute listeners will already know. So I'm going to go back to the start of the dream and start walking through it again. So she says, I'm walking past a bus stop of sorts where a big black limousine is picking up a passenger. And so when I talked to Sadie, I said, okay, my guide said that the bus stop was in the light, like it was right under a light that was shining down on the bus stop. And she said, yes, it was. So this part of the dream, it's kind of a merger of 2 dreams. The limousine really is the whole rest of the dream, just put in one sentence. And it's saying that you're providing an exclusive service that picks people up. People are in the light. You get them into the light, raise their vibration, get them into the light, and pick them up and take them on their journey in an exclusive, super beneficial, I'm going to feel great as I go on this journey kind of way. And that's what Sadie does. That's her career. She already does that. She already helps people, works with people, and helps them heal all sorts of issues. And if you know anything about the show, healing the issues is the big thing. That's what makes our journey better. No matter how much we try to put our head in the sand or not work on ourselves and let's find the next partner, because the last 5 all had the same problem. That was really weird. There can't be any more in the world like that, so I'm just going to give it a go without healing. You're going to find the next one. There's an infinite number, because because that's what your mission here is, and to work on whatever issue it is, whether it's relationship, whatever it is, feeling worthy, not feeling like anybody cares about you, whatever your issue is, your life is going to hold that issue clearly in focus, in the light for you, so that you can deal with it. It would be a terrible shame to be here and then miss what it is. But that's what Sadie does. She helps people. She's able to shine a light on them, just like the dream does, and then say, okay, now that you can see where you are, would you like help getting to the next place in this beautiful limo? So let's have a look at the other way the dream says it. I am helping a dying person. Now you're saying, how is that the same thing, Michael? Well, dying in a dream is not the same as dying in reality, in physical reality. Dying is about changing, allowing an aspect of you die so that a new aspect can take its place. And it makes sense. I mean, I'm sure it makes sense. We can't change. We can't become a new person unless we change something about us, kill off an old aspect of ourselves. So that's what dying is, quite positive in a dream. She says, I'm on the phone with a doctor who also brings in a second doctor. So I have 2 different specialists on the phone. They are in other states, but walking me through what is needed for this dying person. So this part is about the dreamer has a communication ability, and she gets thoughts impressed on her mind. That's what phones represent. But when I say communication, I mean channeling. She can channel. She can also communicate. She's able to get her point across to people perfectly. But really the part I'm talking about is the special channeling ability. And like I said, because of the phone, it works through thoughts impressed on her mind. So she doesn't have to be going, wait a second, let me just channel on that. It's going to come to her in a really easy way while she's doing the work. And the 2 tells us that we have the 2 doctors and 2 medications and various 2s throughout the dream, the 2 states and so on. She helps people in 2 planes. She helps them on the spirit plane and the physical plane. And, it's kind of unusual to see that. I suppose we're always kind of doing that, but it's really called out in this dream that to realize that she's helping people heal spiritually and physically, and on the physical plane. So it's not just like, okay, if we do this, you get the promise of good things in the spirit world when you get there. It's no, your life's going to improve here in physical reality, and it's also going to improve enormously in the spirit plane. Your perspective on life will be very much improved. You will feel that in the physical world. You will feel like I've now got a spiritual perspective, which is the only perspective, by the way, because your physical perspective, the perspective we have here, that is often backwards, we don't get to take that with us. But when you get to the spirit world, when you pass on, then it's what you've learned spiritually is the gold, not the cash that's here. And they say, okay, there's a dying person. They're walking me through what's needed for this dying person. So it's great. Here's what you need to do to help get this person to change, because she's going to elucidate what their issue is. And that's like, it really represents counseling, shining a light on somebody. They want me to go get 2 drugs for the person. She says, now I'm walking again past the limo bus stop, which is back picking up another passenger. We've already covered that. It's the same thing. This previous dream kind of crept into this one twice. Really to emphasize it, it's a way dreams make sure that we don't miss the point. So she says, as I walk towards the hospital, I'm taken aback by the landscape, which is burnt trees. She says, even though I knew there had been a forest fire here, it still takes my breath away to see it. There is some vague conspiracy theory plotline happening in the background. Okay, what's that about? Well, this is fire symbols in dreams represent emotions. The damaged trees represent the dreamer's digestive system. And but it's being used for a different, to make a point. How an emotional issue, which is what the fire would represent, can seriously impact the physical. A non-physical thing, an emotional thing, can seriously impact our body. And I've seen that in dreams many times. Even seen emotions being linked to cancer. There's no cancer symbol in this dream. So the issue that you need to fix isn't always physical in order to help your body. So anyway, the point is we saw the 2 states, and we see 2 states with the trees. And then we see, and the reason it comes to the dreamer is because this is an issue she has fixed. She had to fix and has already done it. And so it's like, hey, it's like this for you. And she even says, even though I knew the fire was there before, so we know it's in the past for her. She says there's some vague conspiracy theory plotline happening in the background. So that seems kind of weird, but what is a conspiracy theory? This is the time in the world for conspiracy theories, isn't it? But it's really about, in a dream, I'm being told something, but I'm not quite sure I buy into it. But in a dream, we assume everything is positive, at least until the dream shows it's not. So it's like, it may seem like it's crazy or not the thing I need to do, but it really shows me kind of like having difficulty, or the dreamer's clients, let's say, having difficulty grabbing onto what I'm saying so that they can improve their lives. Not sure I explained that well. But anyway, it's not really about conspiracies. It's just about the reluctance of somebody that, taking on the new message. And this is part of the old you dying. If I buy into the conspiracy theory, I have to give up the rational, sane part of my mind that I've had all this time that is helping me get through the world. At least that's what I think. But when the light is shone on me, then I realize, wait, that's what's causing my problems. I need to let that go. And I need to take on this new line of thinking, which to me feels right now like a conspiracy madness kind of insanity thing. But once I do take it on, I'll understand the sense of it. There we go. I've explained it well. I'll pat myself on the back, if you don't mind. She continues on. As I'm walking, I'm talking to the doctors who I can hear, and they hear me, even though my phone is in my left pocket. Yes, because it's not really about the phone. It's about your ability to talk to your guides, and anybody with a title in a dream is a guide. And so the doctors have a title, and they're healers. So you're a healer. They're telling me what I'm doing is very important and that I'm doing a great job. So why would we have that in a dream? such positive praise from our guides. Like she says, I have a sense like I'm an MVP, a most valuable player. I appreciate their praise, though I feel a bit shy or humble or deflecting about it. So this is often needed. We think we're good at what we do and we put ourselves at a particular level. And this dream is saying, look, you're helping people in a much deeper way than you realize. And you need to raise your view of yourself, improve your view of yourself, because from our perspective, what you're doing is absolutely amazing and extremely valuable. And you need to look at it that way. So again, why could I have that? One is I'm not feeling that way. And the other is I might be thinking about changing what I'm doing, changing career, because I'm thinking that way. And this is like, please don't. This is what we want you to do. Hospitals and doctors' surgeries and so on. And she's talking to doctors in their surgeries, and she's got a hospital in the dream. They're all about state of mind. So her special ability is to help a person change their state of mind. Really, really cool. And that's essential in order for healing. And that's why we come here. And then we're coming to the bit. She says, I go to the hospital/airport. So airport is, again, really positive. It's about a project taking off or a very positive departure. It's always positive. And so she's able to help people move on and move up into better things in their lives. And she says, I'm looking in drawers for 2 medications, Sildenafil and Tetragrammatride. Okay. And she says she wakes up as she's looking for the drugs in IV bags. So what is Tetragrammatride? Well, that is the Hebrew name of God. Really, I couldn't believe it. I looked it up on the internet. That's all you're going to get back. There probably is some drug named after it, but you're going to get all this. Oh, it's the name of God. It's the name of God. It's the name of God. And so that will help explain why Sildenafil, which is Viagra, shows up in the other part. See if you get it. I've given you lots of time to think about it. It's all about masculine and feminine. And obviously the Viagra is the masculine and God represents the feminine here. So she's helping people balance masculine and feminine. And that's what we do. It's all about energy, ultimately. Everything in our lives is an illusion to create a point. An illusion that you really have to buy into and live, and like it smacks you in the face. There's no question about that. It's not like ignore it. You're meant to embrace it, embrace the illusion, because it's going to help you grow and help you balance the energy that you have out of balance, which is the whole reason you're here in the first place. You're here to restore the balance to either one or both energies for you. But that's it. I loved it. Masculine and feminine. I'm always going to think of that now. Viagra is the masculine. So I hope that dream makes sense to you, Sadie. And thank you for sending it in. And I will send you the link to get on a call with me. But before that, I'm going to have a look at another one of your dreams. She says, this is a shorter one. I'm on a wide skateboard thing going on the I-90 to the I-5 North overpass. I'm kneeling on the skateboard, propelling myself along by pushing my hands against the street. I have a moment of wondering how this will work out for me, because I have to go all the way back to Edmonds, which is probably about 10 or 11 miles away from where she is. And then I need to come back for the car later. I'm in this part of town because I'm working in a high-rise building downtown. Okay, so we know it's about the spiritual side, which kind of makes sense because you had these dreams the same night. And I asked her where exactly this is. And the overpass she's on is a shortcut that you can take from the I-90 to the I-5. So it allows you switch onto a different freeway. And Sadie works with people through manipulating their karma. Now that's sounds like a strange thing. One thing that's interesting is Sadie has sent dreams into the show before, and I had said, hey, you're able to work with karma, but you're not allowed to get onto the dharmic path. Not only not allowed, you will be blocked. So you have to stay on the karmic path. And that sounded like it kind of sucked, like I'd slapped her in the face. And I was like, yeah, because I'm always saying, hey, try be done with karma, get onto the dharmic path. Life is going to be so much shorter. And when I was channeling on this dream for Sadie, what I was told was, yeah, but she has a special ability to manipulate karma. So the karmic path doesn't feel that way to her. It doesn't feel karmic because she can move stuff around and like, oh, this is this horrible thing coming at me. I'm just going to push it over there. And so it's not the karmic path as far as she's concerned, but she needs to be on it in order to be able to be in the right place to work with the right people that she's going to work with. So really good. And that's why we had the black limousine in the previous dream, by the way, because she's able to help people move forward on the karmic path in a really positive way. And I've said many times before, karma is not positive or negative. It just is a way of allowing you achieve what you came here to achieve by attracting into your life the things that you need. Even if you don't want them, if you need them, karma will give them to you gladly. So anyway, she's on a wide skateboard. So I asked her, is it long as well? So it's wide and long. And that's about sharing, like a long table in a dream. It's about sharing. So, and she's on the I-90 going to the I-5. We know the I-5 is about karma. The I-90 just says she doesn't need to be. She didn't need to come here. She's at a level where she didn't need to come here. She's on her last necessary life. So anybody who comes, who's already a guide or an angel, they're going to dream of nines. And anybody who's ready for this to be their last lifetime, they're going to dream of nines. But this just says, look, you don't need to be here. But it's really kind of a kick in the butt to say, get your skates on, pun intended, because what you are doing in this lifetime is super important for you to not have to come back. So she says, I'm kneeling on the skateboard, propelling myself along by pushing my hands against the street. Now we know she's a hands-on healer, but she's also out in the traffic. So we know it's career again, because she's in the lanes of traffic. There isn't other traffic around her, but she's going to propel herself forward, which you couldn't do in reality. You could not do that. And she's going to go all the way home by doing this. And when I channeled on it, I was told it's a very public thing, that she's out there in the open, emotionally open thing, because a skateboard is about the heart. And so it's about being emotionally open and visible in your career space, because your difficult journey, your struggle on your journey, or even perceived possible struggle, is what allows people to connect with you. So when you're talking to clients, you can share pieces of your journey. They understand what you're going through and so on. It's not, it's never actually really beneficial for anybody to just say, like, here's where you need to be. But if you can say to somebody, here's where you need to be, and I've gone through this struggle myself, and these are the things that hit me. And so if I share my story, it's probably going to help you, draw a context for you in your own life. And that's going to help you either have resolve to stick with it, because you can see that when I got through it, or you're going to understand and get insights from my story that's really going to help you be able to go, I didn't think of it that way. Now I know what to do in my life. And so the dream is saying to her, share your pain, share your, not your pain, your struggle. Share what you've gone through, and constantly go through. She says, I have a moment of wondering how this will work out for me, because I have to go all the way back, go to Edmonds and then go all the way back to get my car. And of course the car she's on the karmic path. She works with karma, that's it. And she's, that's it. The freeways also represent the heart, by the way. So it's an emotional thing. The skateboard and freeways, it's like being emotionally open and exposed in your career. Most of us aren't. Most of us, we can put on a hat. We could think of a policeman. You would not expect a policeman to share any part of their journey or difficulties, or this is the trouble I'm having at home. They're just going to be the authority when they stop you for speeding or whatever it is. But Sadie's been told, no, you've got to be emotionally open and vulnerable and sharing. That's what's needed. The sharing, again, is because of the long board and the wide skateboard, because more than one person could stand on it. Not that it's a good idea, but they could. All right. So thank you for those two dreams, Sadie, and I hope they make sense. What else can I say? We have a course coming up next Sunday at 9 a.m. Pacific time. April Angel, who's been on the show many times before. April is running this course, the spiritual dimension of dreams. I'm going to be there as well, answering questions, but it's really her show, her idea to put it on. But why should you do this? Well, look, really, The bonus that you get with this is really the draw, because the bonus you get when you sign up for this course is you get a 30-minute call with April or Holly or me. And it sometimes runs over, but don't expect that. And in that call, we look at your dreams and we tell you precisely what they mean, what your gifts are. And that's what the focus of the course is. It's to answer the question for people who are struggling to discover what their gifts and life purpose is. We look at the dreams and we say, these are your gifts. This is part of your purpose, or this is what you're here to do. And this is what's in your way. So the big thing that we need to overcome is what's in our way. And so when you know what the obstacle is, and you know what your life purpose is, and you know what your gifts are, you can see how working on that obstacle is indeed part of your life purpose, and probably the biggest part of your life purpose. So this is really where the growth for me is. And this course is perfect for that. It's very, very structured. We tell you how to recognize 8 different gifts, not just by the symbols, because that would be easy. We could say, okay, the sun represents hands-on healing. Hands represent hands-on healing. No, we say, this is what a symbol must encapsulate in order to be about hands-on healing. So now when you understand this, you will be able to look at other symbols in dreams that you've never seen before, and you'll be able to say, that matches what April told me about hands-on healing, so that must be a symbol for hands-on healing. And we do that with many other gifts on the 2 weekends. And very interactive. We also take dreams from the people who are participating and analyze those dreams. Our neck on the block, because the dreamer is there and they could argue with us. That's a unique part of our courses. They're very high touch. And I know people have done many other courses with very famous dream gurus, and they don't interpret a single dream from any participant on the course. But we do that. That's what we do, because we know what we're talking about, and we know it's going to work, and we know it's going to be accurate, and we know you're going to agree with it. And it's good for us to do that on the course so that other people can see that you agree with it. But then, like I said, the big bonus, and probably the whole reason to do it, is you get that free call with us. So you can't beat that. Do it just for the call, where you get the one-to-one analysis of your own dreams, and you can know what your life is, know what your obstacles are, and what you need to do. Regardless of who you do it with, the needle won't move unless you do something to move the needle. So you have to do something in your life. Now, I know I've convinced you, and your only question now is, how do I get onto this course, Michael? It's easy. Go to dream-analysis.com/April. See you next week.